GTA 6. Salutare! Am pregătit pentru voi astăzi un video de reacție. Vom reacționa la un video în care vom afla despre 8 brevete ce vor schimba industria gamingului, ce vor face GTA 6 cel mai tare joc din istorie.
So, by now, you've probably watched tons of videos filled with GTA 6 rumors and wild guesses. But honestly, we won't know what's real and what's fake until the game actually drops. Today, though, we're talking about stuff that has a pretty solid chance of being in GTA 6. And that's because all this info is coming straight from patents filed by Rockstar Games and Take-Two over the past few years. As the GTA series has evolved, we've seen major upgrades in different areas with every new game, whether it's game physics, graphics, mechanics, or animations. And when it comes to animation, RDR2 is still on top. But now, GTA 6 might take that even further. Thanks to a new patent, back in April 2023, Rockstar's former lead AI and gameplay programmer, Tobias Klinthaus, filed a patent that's all about character animation. And if you dig into it, it shows that Rockstar's building a custom animation library specifically for GTA 6 or upcoming games. This library includes different animations based on various situations, like how a character moves in the rain, how they act when they're hurt, when they're tired, or even when they're drunk. Now here's the crazy part. Sometimes multiple conditions could be true at once, like say the character is drunk, hurt, and it's raining. Instead of using some preset animation for that combo, the system will actually pull from the animation library and generate a brand new animation.
Asta chiar e foarte, foarte tare. Deci practic jocul va putea genera automat pe loc o animație pentru personaj în funcție de starea în care se află personajul și așa mai departe. Interesant, ați văzut, spunea respectiv un video, în cazul în care, nu știu, afară plouă, e o vreme foarte urâtă și personajul este și beat, s-a îmbătat și merge pe stradă legănat, așa știți, pentru că a consumat foarte multe băuturi alcoolice. În momentul acela, pe loc, jocul va putea genera, da, în joc se va genera automat o animație pentru acel personaj, pentru a se comporta într-un anumit fel, pentru a avea anumite mișcări ale corpului în acel moment, în funcție de situația respectivă. Ba, asta chiar e tare. Eu n-am zis despre chestiile astea pentru că nu am știut, uite, e tare. Mai aflăm chestii. Se spune că aceste 8 brevete ar fi sau ar putea fi adăugate în GTA 6. Și da, are dreptate băiatul, animațiile folosite pentru personaje în Red Dead Redemption 2 au fost chiar foarte faine. Cu siguranță se vor inspira de la Red Dead Redemption 2. Nu știu dacă am specificat și eu asta în videourile mele despre GTA 6, dar e posibil să fi spus. Red Dead Redemption 2 a fost practic un joc prin care să testeze feature-uri pentru GTA 6.
One eternity later.
Now that we're already talking about animations, you should know that creating them is one of the most time-consuming and expensive parts of game development. And when it comes to 3D animations, it gets even more complicated. But there's a patent that might have just found a fix for this, and it's filed under Take-Two Interactive. It basically explains how a single animation can adapt to different body shapes. So let's say your character gains weight from overeating. Instead of making a whole new animation just for that body type, the original animation will automatically adjust to fit the new shape. This tech can also adapt to different scenarios. Like one character might climb 2 steps of a ladder at once, while another might only manage 1. Or one character might barely need to bend to open a car door, while someone else might have to bend a lot more. Basically, animations are going to be super dynamic. In the trailer, we saw Lucia and Jason working out multiple times, and their bodies had super detailed sweating.
Se adaptează animațiile în funcție de greutatea corporală a personajului și mai departe. Bă, ce tare!
On a 2D surface to reduce GPU load. And then they'll be visualized on 3D surfaces as realistic water droplets, sweat, or blood, which basically means when liquid elements interact with other surfaces, the results will look way more natural. Like if a piece of clothing comes into contact with water or blood, it'll fully absorb it just like in real life. Alright,
Ce
let's answer
tare!
a simple question. What's harder, multiplayer races or single-player races? Leaving out the hardcore racing fans for a second, most people would probably say multiplayer races. And that makes sense, because in multiplayer you're going up against real people. Every player
Corect.
drives based on the situation they're in, their position in the race, the track layout, whatever's going on around them. But in single-player, the AI or NPCs usually follow
Asta e din NTS Most Wanted
based on how
2012.
well they've been trained. Like, if there's a crash up ahead, a real player won't just blindly keep driving. They'll try to dodge it, avoid crashing into buildings or other vehicles, and get through safely. Basically, real players make decisions based on the moment. Now, according to a new patent, NPCs in GTA 6 are gonna have that same kind of situational driving.
What?
They'll actually choose their route to a destination based on stuff like low traffic, more available lanes, and which road works best
Ce
for the
tare,
vehicle
deci
they're driving.
e exact cum am
Plus,
spus
not
eu,
every
NPC-urile vor fi
NPC
mai
will be good at
inteligente,
driving every type of
inclusiv
car.
în trafic.
So yeah, there's gonna be a driving skill set system too. And if you watch this
Atunci
scene from
când
the
conduc
trailer,
vor fi
check out
mai
how that girl
deștepte
casually switched
NPC-urile
past
la
Jason's
volan,
side without
ok?
bumping into him. Movements like that show how natural and polished the NPC behavior is gonna be. So overall, NPC driving and movement in the game is gonna feel way more realistic and fresh. Look, take any multiplayer game as an example. Whenever a ton of players gather in one spot, performance issues are pretty much guaranteed. And to fix that, there are usually two options. One, limit how many players can be in a single session. Two, lower the in-game detail. Right now in GTA Online, the entire world is just one session. And when you switch from one lobby to another, it turns into a full-on loading simulator, which honestly gets super frustrating. To fix this, Rockstar came up with a new technique. They've split the game world into different sections, and each section is now its own separate session. So moving from one session to another is gonna feel way more seamless. Let's say each
Interesant.
session can handle 30 players, and the world is split into 5 of these. Now you've got 150 players active in the same world without turning the game into a laggy mess or a loading screen fest. Rockstar makes a massive profit from GTA Online, so it's obvious they're gonna focus hard on multiplayer, online features, and RP servers.
Bă, logic, fac o căruță de bani din online, o să-l facă
GTA Online
șmecher.
is literally their most profitable game ever. It's been almost 13 years since it launched, and it still has a massive player base. So yeah, you can bet Rockstar's doing everything they can to make sure GTA 6 Online gives us the smoothest, most insane experience yet. Now, since online is such a huge part of the game, Rockstar's definitely keeping an eye on in-game purchases too. Usually, games handle purchases through platforms like the Play Store, App Store,
Cardurile alea
Steam,
cu
or
bani,
Epic
știți, pe
Store.
care
But
ți le
according
poți
to
lua
a new
pentru
patent,
GTA
GTA
5
6 is set to
online,
upgrade how
shark
players do
cards.
heists, purchases, and online trades. And not just the user experience. They're also focusing on better purchase security. The goal is to make buying stuff or pulling off a heist
Ok, vor să se
super
asigure
fast
că
and
totul e
totally
securizat când îți
effortless.
cumperi
On top of that, another patent
chestii
shows some
în joc, în
serious
GTA 5 online,
anti-improvements coming to the
cardurile alea
game.
cu bani și mai
Basically, they're
departe.
trying to block hackers from getting in, so everyone can play on a level playing field. It's
Astfel încât
clear
să nu ai
Rockstar
parte de
wants the
hackeri
online
care să
experience to
intervină
feel smooth, secure,
în momentul
and
în
fair
care îți
for
bagi
everyone.
datele de la card să
Alright, so
cumperi chestii.
GTA 5 was a massive game with a pretty huge map, big cities, mountains, countryside, all that. And yeah, while the map looked big, most of it was just empty space filled with hills and rural areas. Now, if you look back at GTA 4's map, it was packed tight with buildings, and a lot more of those buildings were actually accessible. That wasn't the case in GTA 5, though. And the reason is simple. Creating interior takes a ton of time. First, an artist has to design the entire inside of the building. That means modeling stuff like chairs, desks, beds, paintings, carpets, you name it. Then those
Da, e mai
assets
greu
get
să faci
categorized
treaba
into
asta
different groups.
cu
After
interioarele.
that, a gameplay designer comes in and arranges them based on the theme and type of building. Like if it's an old building, the walls would have cracks, trash would be lying around, and everything would look worn out. Once that's set up, rendering specialists make sure it all runs
Da, și probabil nu s-au
smoothly
mai
and
obosit la
communicates
GTA
performance.
5.
So yeah,
Au zis
the
că e
whole
prea
process
greu.
is super time
Nu că
consuming.
n-ar fi în stare
Coming to
Rockstar să facă
GTA
așa ceva.
6, rumors say a lot more buildings will be accessible, and you'll actually be able to walk around inside them freely.
Asta
And
am spus și
here's
eu, că
where
o
it gets
să
interesting. A patent
fie mai
file
multe
for
clădiri în
object
care
and
poți
environment
intra.
generation suggests that interiors will be auto-generated based on the type of building. So say you need a Chinese restaurant. You won't need someone to design it all manually. The game will auto-generate that interior based on what kind of building it is. And
Bă,
it's
ce
not
tare.
just the devs. Players will reportedly be able to customize furniture and objects in their homes too. On top of that, NPCs won't wear the same outfit every day. One day you might see someone in a suit, and the next day that same person could be wearing a casual shirt.
E interesant, ați auzit ce a spus acest tip? Vom putea să ne customizăm interioarele de la apartamente, de la case în GTA 6. Ne vom putea customiza mobila, foarte, foarte interesant. La fel cum a zis și la personaje, li se pot genera automat diverse animații în funcție de felul cum se comportă în joc. Ați văzut același lucru a spus și acum referitor la interioarele clădirilor. Ei bine, ați văzut, a dat un exemplu, în momentul în care intri într-un restaurant chinezesc, de exemplu, jocul generează automat un interior specific restaurantelor asiatice. De asemenea, ați văzut că a mai spus și despre NPC-uri faptul că își vor schimba hainele. Poți să vezi un NPC în momentul acesta, spunem, te joci GTA 6, vezi un NPC în joc care este îmbrăcat la costum, da? Și nu știu, are o servietă sau ceva. Mai târziu, poate îl vezi din nou în joc pe acel NPC, dar atunci este îmbrăcat, nu știu, într-un tricou cu pantaloni scurți și tenis.
The game world's gonna feel way more alive and dynamic this time. But yeah, while making the game world super detailed and alive sounds amazing, there's always that one worry. What if it doesn't run on current hardware? Like, let's be real. In most games, when you look at an object up close, it looks super detailed. Sharp textures, crisp edges, but when you look at that same object from far away, it turns into a blurry, low-poly mess. And devs do this on purpose to keep performance smooth. Because if you're far from something and can barely see it,
și el se întreabă, o să ruleze pe consolele actuale foarte bine jocul?
High-res and low-res model isn't even noticeable from that distance. To make that work, developers usually create two versions of the same object. One high-detail version for up close and a low-detail one for far away. But the catch is making two separate models takes extra time and space. Since they're pre-rendered, it also increases the game's overall file size. Now, Rockstar seems to have tackled this with a new pattern. The document itself is kind of technical and doesn't reveal everything clearly, but based on what we could figure out, and a bit of educated guessing, it looks like they've developed a system where a single asset might automatically adjust its quality based on distance. Considering how insanely detailed and dense GTA 6 looks, it's kinda wild that it's running at 60 FPS on a PlayStation Pro. That alone shows Rockstar's been putting serious work into optimizing performance. And there's more. One of their patents is specifically about graphics rendering and environment handling. It includes some pretty cool stuff like a dynamic terrain system. That means terrain can actually deform, so if a grenade explodes, it could leave a proper dent in the ground. And just like in RDR2, you'll see footprints from you and your vehicle in sand or snow.
Bă, ce tare, ați auzit? Se deformează anumite părți din teren, din pământ, în funcție de ceea ce faci tu în joc, în GTA 6. A dat exemplu tipul, dacă arunci cu o grenadă pe o suprafață de pământ, când explodează grenada, vei vedea o gaură mai mare în pământ, da? O suprafață mai mare de teren ce va fi afectată, va, nu știu, sări în aer pământ din bucata aceea de teren pentru că ai aruncat cu grenada, va fi mult mai realist totul. Și spunea el, la fel ca în Red Dead Redemption 2, de exemplu în GTA 6, când mergi prin nisip, să spunem, vei vedea urmele de la picioarele tale, de la papucii tăi. Chiar interesant și chestia asta. Dați click aici sau aici, nu știu unde o să apară pe ecran, pentru a vedea un alt video cu informații super șmechere despre GTA 6, pentru că da, am o mulțime de videouri cu informații despre GTA 6. Dacă sunteți noi pe canal,
Johnny pe zonă mă numesc și nu glumesc, ca Harry Potter sunt. Fac like-urile să apară haterii să